All right, everybody. So Rick Guerrero here, and I am here today with Mr. Gavin Ekstrom. Gavin, I just realized, let me know your title. But I know Gavin is a major influencer in the mortgage side of the business. He's out of the West Coast, someone that I was connected with years ago. I heard about him through the core. I heard he's a badass. It's crushing it. And he was just somebody I really wanted to get to know because everybody I spoke with just spoke so highly of him. So I think I cold called Gavin out of the blue when he was with his family or something. And
did I answer?
You did. I think I got 2 or 3 minutes with you. I dropped somebody's name to get you. I got 2 or 3 minutes from you. And I still talk about that, like how impressive you are as a person. And dude, thrilled to have you on the call and continue talking.
Wow. I mean, that was quite the introduction. I don't even know if I need to say anything now, but yeah, I always the thing is we used to say for the longest time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Right. And that's all changed. That paradigm has shifted. Now it's who knows you, right? Who knows you? And so whatever name you dropped, got you in to have a conversation with me. And I talk all the time that I'm an addict. I love people. And so when the phone rings to me, it's an opportunity to impact somebody's life in a positive way and have an endearing conversation. It drives my family nuts. And so I'm working on being present where I'm at and not taking those calls. But heck, what would have happened if I didn't take this call? I wouldn't be here today. So super excited to be here. My official title is Senior Vice President of the Mountain Region. And the senior just means that I'm old. I just turned 50. And so that
no, you're not. You're not 50.
Yeah, I'm 50.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought you were younger than me. I thought you were like in your 30s. You look so young.
I'll take it. I love it. I'll take it. I feel that way. I run really hard in the sense of, the gym and my regimen and what I do. But yeah, I feel very young. I feel very fortunate and very blessed. And so I just, never want to lose a single minute. I've talked about this a lot. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. I recently lost my father. He's a much better place. And, November 8th of 2023, my 4-year-old daughter at the time was diagnosed with leukemia. And earlier that day, we were just playing. We were having a good time. And later that afternoon, her life was changed. And so you're not guaranteed anything.
How is she now?
She's amazing. She is. It's a 2-year journey, and we have good days and we have great days. There's no bad days with her, and so she's a fighter. She gives me all the strength I need. When people are like, "How are you so positive?" Well, I know that it's a commitment she made with God before she was even my child, and so that's just the way I look at it. Because my dad told me that story when she was diagnosed. I went to my father and I said, "Dad, why her?" You know what I mean? When she was growing up, her soul was so pure and beautiful that the only thing that I worried about with her was what boy was going to break her heart, and then I'd have to have her bigger brothers go break his heart. But truthfully, is when I went to my dad, he said, "Gavin, before Mila was your daughter, she had a commitment with God that she would take on this journey. And so she rose up and she's taken this journey and she's fighting this journey for everybody else. And she's proof of that. I believe that, firmly believe that her strength, her positivity, and the way that her outlook just on life, there's no limits. And so it gives me more strength to even do more, be better, and just not take shit for granted. People are like, well, you're getting older, so you're ornery. I just have a really high standard. I have a really high standard of who I'm going to let in my circle and who I'm going to spend time with, and what I expect not only of my business, but even the branches. I have the opportunity to mentor and manage over 27 branches for cross country, and it's an honor. You know what I mean? And so I've selected the right people to go on this journey with me. And so anyway,
I love that. It's ironic. I was listening to a YouTube video. I listen to a lot of YouTube videos and motivational speakers. Yeah. And I was listening to one last night, Alex Hormozy, Shedding Friends. Yeah. And it talks about, having the right people around you. And it's okay to shed friends because we're in a different season of life. He talked about that friend that, hey, let's go to a baseball game and go drink. And Alex is like, I don't want to drink. Oh, come on, come drink with us. And you're like, no. And that's okay to shed that person out of your life. They'll replace you with somebody else. Yeah. You got to replace them with the people you want to be around that level you up. Yeah. And I'm in that season now where I'm trying to improve the people around me, like you, that are go-getters and just think at a different level, because I've learned that the way that we think and the way that we talk sometimes doesn't go well with everybody and might even hurt their feelings.
Yes. You're going to outgrow them. I want you to replay this, Rick, when you're cutting this up, and you said one word that I hate. Try. Just take that out of the vocabulary. I see all your
do or do
medals
not.
behind you. You don't try it shit. You're a doer, right?
Do or do not. Yes, sir.
So like, go do it. Like, hey, I'm just going to go scale up the people in my life. I talk about so often as just getting in the room. Just getting in the room. I just want to get in the room with those people, right? And then feel what it feels like and be around those individuals, because they do talk differently, and the words they say matter. So yeah, just go get in the room. Don't let
That's
anything
great
stop
advice. So
you.
when I originally heard about you and reached out, heard you're this amazing leader, but most importantly, I heard that you built out this massive team and production. And at the time, I don't remember the production. I want to say it was like close to 1 billion, and I was just like blown away. Like, how can one team do what, like, more than what a good portion of companies are doing in the United States? Like, you're doing more than some mortgage companies. So like, I just had to find out what you're doing, and talk to us a little bit about that journey and how you got to there.
Let me tell you. So there's a little misnotion there, but so I have a region. My region in the height did over 3 billion, which is the size of a mortgage company. This year we'll do about 1.6 billion, right? And which is still about the size of a mortgage.
In this marketplace, that's incredible. That's more than a lot of mortgage companies.
Here's what I tell people is we have an avatar. We have an avatar of who we hire. Okay. So first off, I do look at social as part of the avatar. I look at social, and what I'm looking for is social is does the social media of that person I'm looking to hire, does it move me towards them or away from them? And there's been people that I've turned a cheek to because their social does not give an image of what I want in my environment. The second thing is I want them to be purchase focused. Have they been 3 years in the industry, and are they purchase focused? And then the core values of our region is legit: loyalty, energetic, growth minded, impactful team player. So if they're loyal to the company they've been at, I'm going to do everything I tell them I'm going to do. So they're going to be loyal to us as well. I play with a high level of energy. We all have stuff. Leave it at the door. Come here, play big. And then the G is the growth. The position you're in today is not the position you're going to be in forever. So as long as you're loyal, you're playing big, you're going to grow. And then the I is for impact. The work we do impacts the lives of those that we work with, but more importantly, that we get to lend to. And then the T is for team. Anything worth creating takes another person. So when you have an avatar and you hire to that, then you can do whatever you want, right? You have so much freedom because everybody's rowing in the same direction. Everybody has the same common goal. Everybody's mindset is the same. And so we're a bunch of people that just want to improve their lives at the highest level. And so for me to be able to do that, it allows me the opportunity. So I have my region, and then I have our branch, and then I have my personal team production. I still do personal production. Now, I don't meet with every client. I don't meet with clients. I haven't met with a client in 10 years, but yet last year, or this year, I should say, I won the CLMA, which is a local award for the top loan originator in Colorado. I haven't done an application in 10 years, right? But here, I'll tell you a story. I was sitting in Sacramento, California, in a buffet line. I don't recommend either one. I don't recommend Sacramento. Sorry, guys, Cowtown, but it's not for me. I don't recommend Sacramento, and I don't recommend a buffet. But I'm sitting there, and this gentleman comes up to me and goes, "You're dressed really nice. What do you do for a living?" So I thought mentally to myself, well, I'm gonna have some fun with this guy. And so I said, "Well, I sell money." And he goes, "You do?" I said, "Yeah. Do you need some money?" He goes, "Money for what?" And I said, "Well, money leveraged by real estate." And he sat there and pondered it for a minute. And I see him take a step back, and he goes, "You're a mortgage lender." And I stepped into him. I said, "Yeah, you're right." I said, "You're pretty smart. What do you do for a living?" And he goes, "I'm the biggest leader in this room." Now I'm studying to be a better leader. I think we all are. And so I'm looking at the room of about 200 people, and I'm like, "There's no way you're the biggest leader in this room." And so I said, "Well, what do you do for a living?" And he goes, "Well, I'm a conductor." And I said, "Like a train conductor?" And he goes, No, like an orchestra conductor. And I said, "Are you even necessary?" Probably shouldn't have said that to him, right? And he goes, young man, by the flick of my baton, I can make the most beautiful sound come out of an instrument that I may or may not know how to play, and that you probably don't know how to pronounce." I'm like, "Touche." So he hands me his card, and I see the name on it. And so I go up to my room. I left the buffet and I went up to my room to see how big of a leader this guy is. And his name was Brendan Zimmerman, and literally founded the Boston Philharmonic in 1979. And the other day I was sitting there, and this master class pulls up, and guess who's teaching a class on leadership? It's him.
No way.
So then I'm like, what's his cash net worth? Because that's what we all do, right? And so 81 million. And I'm like, that gentleman is absolutely a leader in what he does. So I thought to it myself, I'm like, well, why can't I be that? Why can't I be the conductor of my business? Why can't I orchestrate the journey of what I want my business to look and feel like, the experience that I want every client to go through? And then why can't I just do what a conductor would do, is which basically go out and speak on music, speak on mortgage, right? And so that's what I do. So I do events to drive business to the team. The team handles the business. What way? Mm-hmm. The same way the sheet music says to play the music. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
There's no money in it for me to sit there and be the, taking the loan application, doing this, and then running a branch, running a region, and doing all the things that I want to do. Doesn't work for me. So what I tell my agents is like, it's like this, is like, listen, let me tell you how I work. The best part of how I work is I have a team behind me, and the team is going to take care of your clients at the highest level, actually a higher level than what you and I can do, so that you and I can go do big thinking stuff. And so whatever that is, let's go tackle that together. Does that make sense? You can get
absolutely.
Like you can do really well doing loans, but I don't want to just do loans for a living. I don't want to be 70 and still doing applications. Does that make sense? So absolutely. I made that pivot shift in my business, and it's okay. I don't have to do it all. And I don't have to take every application.
And you're making bigger impacts on people's lives.
And I'm having more fun doing it.
And you're having more fun.
Like
it sounds like the conductor is playing with you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him and do it. He probably doesn't remember me. He probably like, yeah, you're the only asshole that asked me if I was ever necessary. But that's my ignorance, right? Like ignorance is bliss. That was my ignorance. But the thing is, here's what I tell you to do. And I just did this with my team. We took a line, made a T-square, right? Write down everything you love to do on the left and everything you don't like to do on the right. And then go find someone to do that. And that's what I did. I don't love to do a lot of things because I'm now at the point in my career where I don't want to do them. Agent calls and says, will you do an open house? I don't want to do them because it's not best use of my time. Right? Time is valuable. You'll never get it back. Quit trading time for money. Quit trading
it's the most valuable asset that we have.
Yeah.
I don't think there's as far as I know, I don't think there's a single amount of money that can buy a minute of time.
Nope. But yet we treat it that way, right?
I know. It's nuts. I look back and like I try to embrace all the time I spend with my 6-year-old daughter because I feel like yesterday she was born.
Yeah.
So now 6 years
it goes quick.
12, I know, and 11, 12 Christmases left maybe,
Time versus times, right? How many more times do we have together where we're going to be doing this? And yeah, it's so surreal. I was, here's the other thing too, is I'll tell you, I was writing my dad's eulogy last night, and I get to speak at his funeral this Sunday. And you know what? I never talked about what his W-2 was, how much he had in his savings account. I didn't talk about any of that stuff, right? And so the stuff that we think is so important in a day or 48 hours or even a year from now is irrelevant. That's it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Well, right now we're getting back to a little bit of what we were talking about earlier. Right now we're in a weird marketplace, and people are getting out of the business. We got the NAR lawsuit. We have a lot of difficult things going on and challenges. And I've been spending a lot of my time reaching out to top producers like you and others, asking like, hey, what are you doing for your team? Like, come on and share so we can help more people. And from what I understand, we talked a little bit offline. you're like taking it a step forward. You put together, I'll let you kind of share it, but it sounds like you put together this incredible opportunity for people to come out and learn from you, as well as other incredible leaders in our industry.
Yeah,
So
it's an opportunity to take market share, Rick. I mean, this is a great opportunity for lenders to step into the business, not to step out. And here's what I mean by that is while everybody's frozen, right? I'm quietly taking, well, not quietly because I post everything on social and do events like this, but I'm taking more market share, right? I'm becoming the industry expert. I'm becoming the guy who's going to add value to their business. And I'm not coming and speaking about products and programs. I'm speaking about opportunities, right? How to strengthen their value in today's market. Think about this, Rick. 50% of our industry was on a contractual basis when it came to buying real estate, right? Listing agent, you had to have a listing agreement to put the sign in the yard. The other 50% was on a verbal basis, which basically meant you had no agreement. They had no loyalty to you. So think about that. Now you're going to have 100% of their business is both of it is contractual, which makes more sense, doesn't it? It doesn't make sense that one side of it was on a contract and the other one was, can you show me the house? Yes. What time? Right? Boom. You'd go show it without any sort of agreement.
And in my guidance to business, I would cold call agents and be like, hey, are you showing properties this weekend? Yes.
Yeah.
Are they pre-approved? No. Wait, you're getting in your car and driving to a home to show somebody a house that you have no idea who the hell they are.
You have no idea if they qualify. Opportunity to build the relationship and you don't even know. Well, shoot, buddy, I've been in the industry since 93. I remember driving to someone's house to get the information to only come back and find out they have a 500 credit score. Because I couldn't pull credit right then and there, right? You had to get the authorization, you had to send it in. And it's like, dude, that model doesn't work. It doesn't work. So 50% were on a hired basis. The other one was on a verbal basis. Now it's 100%. But here's the thing. I feel like real estate agents, buyer's agents will make more money in this market. Here's why. Because now that you're on a contractual basis, you're determining what your commission is prior to taking them out and showing them property. Prior to August 17th, your commission as a buyer's agent depended on the negotiation skills of the listing agent. Let me say that again. Your commission, if you were a buyer's agent, was determined on the negotiation skills of the listing agent. So the listing agent went into that property and said, well, I'll list it for 4%. I'll take 2 and we'll put a buyer's agent for 2% in a market that normally would pay 3. Your buyer's agent never once, I guarantee you, maybe 5% of the time did they go back to the buyer and get the difference, right? But think about this. Why did they not go to the seller, right? Why did they not go to the seller for the difference? So now there's 3 ways they can get that money. Number 1 is they can get it from the seller by simply asking, I see that you're paying a 2% commission. My contract's for 3%. We would like to offer you to pay 3% in commission. No problem. Just increase the price. Okay, that will work if it'll appraise, right? And if they don't want to increase the price, okay, it is financeable, right? If it will appraise. Appraisals now are more important than ever before. And then the last and the third is only if it goes back to the buyer would they pay that difference. But Lennar is a great home builder across the nation. They would only pay 1% commission. I wonder if any agent ever went back to Lennar, increasing the price, asking for more commission, or if they ever went back to their buyer and said, yes, it's a 1%. I work at 3%. Here's my difference. They will be willing to pay you more in commission if you can do one thing, add more value to their experience. Add more value to their experience. So how are you adding value? Right? Many buyer's agents don't even do a buyer's presentation. So I did a whole series on the buyer's presentation, which made me think, well, if buyer's agents aren't doing a buyer's presentation and they wing it, and we work primarily with buyer's agents, so what do we generally do? Wing it. So let's get more structured in our business. Let's get more scripted. So I just did a class with a mortgage coach on my buyer's presentation. And I went through my whole buyer's presentation. Now we've used a buyer's presentation for 10 plus years, but I've just made it better and better and better. That makes sense?
Man, dude, not only does it make sense, I love what you're doing there, because how many leaders in our space that lead teams, that lead salespeople are thinking outside the box and doing stuff like that to provide value to of yourself and your team, and also helping the agent have more value. Like
Yes.
you're hopefully it's come out the wrong way, but you're like a unicorn, a male, a strong unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're rare. You're outlier. That's probably a better word. But like most leaders aren't thinking that way. Like we're just thinking about like let's hold on until the rates drop and we'll refi. Like that's
we need to take our business more serious. Think about this. Can you make $1 million in our industry?
Absolutely.
Absolutely is right. And so if you look at the average NBA basketball player coming into the league, they make 1.1 million. Okay. If you look at the average at the beginning football player coming into the league, it's 795,000. The average actor, theater all around actor coming into the industry makes on average $59,901. All of us can make that kind of money. Many of us have done that. But here's the thing. We're performers. So start performing. And your W-2 or a 1099 shows you how good of a performer you are. So if you want to make more money, become a better performer. In addition to that, practice more. The late, great Kobe Bryant said it this way. I practice in the gym, right, when it's empty, so I can perform in the arena when it's full. We don't practice.
No, and I love that you brought Kobe up. I love that documentary on the Dream Team. Did you see it?
Oh yeah,
they're all out. But the whole team is going out partying in Vegas, and they come back into the hotel like at 3 a.m, and they see Kobe going to the gym.
Yeah,
and they're like, "That's why that guy's better than us."
That moment changed the way that the Dream Team took themselves. Right? They started taking themselves more seriously. More seriously. The one thing I can't teach is grit. Right? But if you have grit in this market, you're going to be just fine. I got a lot of grit.
Dude, you have a ton of grit. So let's talk about this event you're putting on. What sparked it? What made you think to do this? And who are your speakers? What's the goal?
Yeah. So Impact Experience, Austin, Texas, September 19th and 20th. This will be our second event. So I was in a coaching program for 12 plus years, coached for them professionally for 5. And as I was being coached, and it was the best coaching program for me at that time, but as I was being coached, I wanted to do things differently. I wanted to do them my way. And I saw an opportunity to do sales different. If we could think about it, the buyer cycle has changed. It's longer, right? And the buyer's behaviors have changed as well. The basics with sales has stayed the same, but now we got to do more things with sales. If you think about this, the San Antonio Spurs that were a dynasty when Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Tony Parker were around, they were great at that time in of the year, right? That decade, if you will. If you took that team and dropped them into today's NBA, I don't know if they would win a championship. They'd be in the playoffs. I don't know if they'd win it because the game has changed. The game has changed. Well, guess what? This game has changed as well. So it can't be that you're just pounding phone calls. It can't be that you're just doing these mini events. It can't be that you're not doing social. You're not doing Zoom. You're not doing podcasts. You know what I mean? You're not posting regularly. You're not face-to-face. So there's so much more to the basics that we have to be doing, but we can do them in a different scale to have a bigger impact. And so what we developed is what I feel is the most premier coaching program for sales individuals, not just realtors, not just lenders, but entrepreneurs, people that are in the sales environment. We all deal with the same stuff, right? Lead acquisition, lead conversion. And so what I saw is an opportunity to continue to grow salespeople in a way that's not just formatted for lenders and realtors. And so I did an event here in Denver. We had 650 people. We had Ed Milet, we had Ben Newman, Renee Rodriguez, Amanda Wolf, Damon West. And we did a soft launch to see if we had enough people that would be interested in a coaching program. The soft launch, we had about 110 people say, yeah, I want to continue to move forward. Well, I didn't have a single coach. I had no curriculum. I had no platform. I just had an idea, just had the idea and went for it. And so after that, I got with my buddy, JJ Mazzo. JJ got with
He's incredible.
Josh. Yeah. Then we got with Haley Garcia. And the four of us decided to build a coaching program. And then we have some partners with us as well. Danelle Riggs, Robbie Sampson, Alan Huggins, Lisa Wells, and Stuart Sadler. All phenomenal coaches. All phenomenal coaches.
And people.
And so
phenomenal people.
And we feel like we can coach anybody. I don't care even if you're the bus driver, because y'all deal with the same stuff: finances, marital, spiritual, right? What's my vision? Where am I going? And so it doesn't matter, but we focused it on sales. And so we developed this coaching program, and we're super excited to be launching it in September, the 19th and 20th.
All right, I'm gonna have to get and find out what I got to do to sign up, because
Impact Your Life. Here's what I'll do. Give me a minute to set it up, because it's not set up yet. But any of your listeners, anyone that wants to go, once you put this out, I'll make it Impact 10. So Impact in the number 10 will give you 10% off your ticket price. But go check it out. Listen, there's the guarantee is the tickets are $997 or $24.97 for a VIP. If you leave the event, it's a 2-day event. If you leave the event and you feel like it wasn't worth it, we'll give you that equal in coaching. So you're going to have Jesse Itzler, you're going to have Ben Newman, Josh Sigmund.
We get Jesse coming to this one.
Yeah. Josh Sigmund.
I
all
love
the
Jesse
coaches that I mentioned. Oh my gosh. If you know Jesse, like, I think he's a top 3 speaker in the country. He is phenomenal.
He was here in Atlanta speaking for Equity Prime, and I missed it because my wife planned a trip to visit her family.
Well, there you go. So now come out to Austin, and you'll be able to forgive your wife, and it'll be a very cool experience. I promise you this. No one wants to go sit through another coaching seminar. This is how it's a corporate rave. Like, we're gonna have a lot of energy. We're gonna have a lot of fun. If anyone knows me, I love house music, because A, they don't use bad words, and B, it just gets you pumped up, and there's a ton of energy in that music. And so come join us and see what it's all about.
Well, and I think your coaching event is not really a coaching. To me, my perspective is it's an event with a bunch of people that have crushed it at a very high level. They're sharing their experiences and sharing what they've done and sharing what they see.
Yes.
And like you talked about earlier, like, a lot of our goal is to get into the room with these type of people, and you're putting on an event with these type of people to help more people get in the room.
Yes. Yeah. I'm speaking on taking action with profitable results. And if anyone knows me, sometimes what I do in profits don't align, but I've changed it. And so I'm going to show you ways to do everything I'm doing on a budget, and the profits will just roll in.
That's smart.
Speak on what I'm doing. Like, these events are what I'm doing. Could you do these events if you were an insurance agent? Yes. Could you do these events if you were financial advisor? Yes. And could they be profitable? Yes. In more ways than you think.
Have you given thought to, like, streaming the event for people that can't travel because for whatever reason?
Yeah, not this event, but
it's hard.
But we've got some other ideas around streaming, but yes, but not this one. We want butts and seats.
Of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think the value there is being able to be in a room with people like y'all and the others that come, right? Because you're like, I imagine with your relationships and a lot of the speakers' relationships, you're driving other top producers as well. So like, there's a masterminding and networking component where I might meet someone that can give me some tips or advice for my business, in addition to learning from you. 100%. And like, when I've gone to the coaching conferences in the past, like that, I tried to network and learn from others and grow.
The cool thing about this, it's not segmented to one specific industry. So now you're going to have a ton of different vendors and the best of the best in different industries and different markets. So think about this badass networking opportunity that will grow from this. That's what we're excited about.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wanted to, are you, at the event, are you going to touch on social media, or somebody going to touch on social media marketing?
Of course. Yeah. The power of social and the influence of social, and why you need to do it. Right. And here's what I'll tell you: of all my posts that I do, you want to know which ones get the most impact?
When you're being you, real.
The kids.
Yeah.
I interviewed my kids, and and part of it, like, I had both of them. Not that I did this on purpose, but they were both crying, and I don't know if we haven't posted those ones yet, but we will. But yeah, the kids, I'm not the best parent. I let them ask me questions. I ask them questions. But yeah, it just, and it's a reflection. It's not a reflection to say, hey, what a great dad I am. It's a reflection of saying, hey, let's just get real. Let's be authentic, right?
I remember seeing a video of you and your kids like playing in the kitchen or something. I can't remember what it was. It was like a few weeks or months ago. Y'all were playing in the kitchen, a game or something, cards. I don't remember. It was like a lesson you taught them. It was so funny.
I'm a prankster too, and so I like to have a lot of fun with them as well. And so yeah, there's always something at the, you know, around the island in the kitchen. But yes, yeah. One time we came home. I'll tell you this one, and this sparked a business for my son. Is I love shoes, so I had a bunch of shoes, but I wasn't wearing them. So I'm like, I'm gonna sell them to my kids because their feet are my size, and so I'm gonna sell them to my kids. My wife was not happy. She heard me auctioning off these shoes to my kids, and she came out and she stopped it. And so, anyways, but long story short, that event of the shoe auction spun my 16-year-old to start a shoe flipping business. And so now he has a shoe flipping business called Sold Out Kicks, where basically he's buying and reselling shoes. 18 months he's ran this business. He's got 40 grand in profit. Buying and reselling shoes. Now I gave him a head start of some shoes to get started with. But now he's gone to my friends. He's going to the owner of the company. He's going to people at his school. And literally I see boxes and boxes of boxes going out of the house every day. And he's like, the other day he goes, Dad, you want to know what that big box is? And I said, what? And he goes, profits.
Dude, that's amazing. Like
profits.
And I love, like, in that example, you talk about him going to different people asking, like, I love that drive and that grit. Like, yeah. And I think depending on who you have around you at that age that's guiding you, like when I was a little kid, I was similar. Like if I was selling not Girl Scout cookies, but like Boy Scout chocolates or whatever, dude, I got every single person I knew because like everybody likes chocolate. Yeah. And I remember my parents being like, don't calm down, relax, don't talk to that person. Like, you know, kind of capping me, like not wanting me to do that because people look, we're salespeople get it, but non-salespeople are like, calm down. So I love that about him.
I've never met a stranger. I've never met a stranger, and I have conversation with anybody. I think sometimes I got to tone it back because there are people that are, hey, you're in my space, or you know what I mean? But I just love people. I always say like this, Rick, like even today, like you came into my life for a reason. It's up to us to just go figure out why. What is it that you want to do together? Let's go figure it out. You know what I mean?
Dude, with you, I do anything. Whatever you have in mind, I'm in. Right? If we want to make a protein powder company, whatever it is you want to do, I'm in. Yeah, like dude.
There's opportunity there too.
Yeah, dude, whatever you want to do, I'm in. Just call me and say, hey, just jump on a call. I'm in. How much money do you need for seed money? I'm in.
I love it.
But getting back to my question about social media, so one of the reasons I asked you that is I personally struggled in the beginning getting active on Instagram and leveraging Instagram.
Yeah.
And I read this book about recruiting and leveraging Instagram recruiting. And in the book you were mentioned, and then I reached out to you to validate if it's legit or not. Yeah. And I'm like, I've never seen Gavin on Instagram. So then I looked you up after I talked to you and I was like, holy moly, this guy has one of the best Instagram accounts I've ever seen. Your content is incredible. It's like, and you're a true example of don't try to create content, curate content.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's you that's setting up the camera when you speak, but you'll just be speaking to your team like in a team meeting and giving incredible content to them and great value to them. Yeah. And I watch that video, I'm like, man, this guy's amazing. How can I be a leader like that? So I actually, like, you were so good. It was you and another person I was following. It was Eddie Perez, who was incredible with his content. Like between the two of y'all, I was like, there's no way I could jump in. Like, I'm just going to suck. And I had the wrong thought process.
You do.
You know,
you're really good at this. And this is just the beginning of that. Right. And everything is content. And Richard got me to step out of my shell and be more vulnerable. Because I would sit there and think, well, what do you want to hear me speak for? What am I gonna add value to you? And he's like, well, aren't you a coach? And then that resonated with me. He's like, don't you have coaching? And so it's not like, It's not even just coaching, it's just life. If I think of something or I feel some way, I'm going to talk about it. I'll give you an example. This morning, okay, at the gym, working out with my trainer, and we're talking about the Broncos. And the Broncos have 3 quarterbacks, right? Bo Nix is the starting quarterback, and there's 2 others. Garrett Wilson was saying, "Hey, I should be a starter in the league." And then the other guy, I forget his name, and he's like, "Hey, I'm super excited for Bo Nix to be the starter. He's earned it." So I asked my trainer, Evan, I said, "Evan, what do you think about this? Are they going to trade one?" And he goes, "No, you know what? They're going to keep all 3 because that just tells you that they don't think either one of them is really that great." Stop. That sounds like a realtor referring 3 lenders, right? Doesn't it? Doesn't that what it sounds like? It's, oh my gosh.
Exactly what it sounds like.
That sounds like this.
I'm training with my boy Evan this morning. We're talking about the 3 quarterbacks that the Broncos had. And I asked him if they were going to keep all 3. And he said yes, because why?
Because they probably don't have any confidence in any of them.
So you agents that keep referring 3 lenders, that's the exact same reason why you do. You don't have confidence in any of them. There's one.
Did you post that?
Not yet. That was just this morning.
God. I love it.
But that's content. And I didn't tell him what I was doing, right? I just went and did it. And he's like, "That's funny, because when Athena referred you, she said, just call him." He goes, I didn't know any better. I just called you. And I said, "Yeah, but if, like, you should have called me anyway, because we train, you idiot." But yeah, he's like, I just didn't know. You know what I mean? And so that's what I tell agents all the time. I'm like, quit referring 3, because you're basically saying that none of them are any good.
That's absolutely correct. I never
Everything
thought of it in that
is content. So that was just this morning. So think about that, right? Another time, I posted about this, is every time I call my kids and I say, "I'm proud of you," right? But I got to tell them why. Don't just say, "I'm proud of you." So I'll tell them, "Hey, listen, I'm proud of you, and here's why." And I'll go deep on that, right? Well, one of them, I can't remember, Sebastian, I think, was writing like the best things about Dad. And he's like, "What I like about Dad are the pep talks, the proud pep talks." And so that means that he's listening to what I'm saying. So anything's content. I posted about that, and I had dads text me and go, "I needed that. I've always been the one to say I love you or I'm proud of you, but I never go deep enough to tell them why." Back to social, what Richard taught me was vulnerability is a form of leadership. And social can show your vulnerability, and it will make you a better leader in the eyes of yourself and others. The other thing too is value over vanity. I like nice stuff. I have nice stuff. I don't need to flash it, right? There's just no need for it.
Right.
There's no need for it.
I mean, right now you're wearing a black T-shirt, right? And
I'm speaking later, so I have a suit that I'm putting on. But I'm like, for this, I just want to be comfortable, and I want to just have a casual conversation. But this is me. You know what I mean?
And it's funny because I remember watching a video of you speaking to your team with like a sports coat and a shirt similar to this.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, like, look how Gavin dresses.
That's a look. You can wear
that.
So
I went out and I bought 10 shirts like this off of Built's website because I see.
You throw a sport coat. This aloe, I could just throw a sport coat on and you would never know. Tuck it in and be ready to roll.
So I have 10 sports coats, or maybe 10, like 6 or 7. And I wear these type of shirts underneath. And today I'm wearing shorts, but I'll just throw jeans on it and the sports coat. And I got that from watching one of your videos where you were speaking to your team in a conference room.
Yes.
And you were talking about value or something. And I was like, I like the message, but I love how he's dressed.
The buyer's behaviors have changed, correct? And when the buyer's behaviors have changed, so has the appearance. Here's what I mean by that. If you met me 10 years ago, I was suit all the time, right? And I still wear a suit. I'll put a suit on today. I'm going to be speaking to about 50 realtors. But the buyer's behaviors have changed, and the way that they perceive you has changed as well. Because majority of our buyers now are going to be millennials. You need to dress that they understand and look the part. Throwing on a sport coat with jeans and nice shoes, even tennis shoes, right? That's acceptable. That's acceptable.
Jordans. Yeah. Jordans are nice shoes.
Great. Yes.
Especially with jeans and a sports coat.
That's it.
Well, and then like the thing about Jordans is like when you go to a room of 50 agents, 100 agents, dude, someone's going to comment on the Jordans. And to me, like, I'm sure you're similar, is like, I just want to have lots of conversations with people, lots of conversations, lots of experiences. It helps give me more stories.
I was at we had a function at an amusement park here for our region, and I stopped by. I saw this pond with a bunch of goldfish, and they were all swimming around. And so I started videoing it, and I'm like, how are you standing out in a crowd, or are you just okay with blending in?
Wow. It's powerful.
Stand out. You don't need to dye your hair or anything else. Like, stand out. I only shaved my head because Mila lost all her hair, and now her hair's growing back, so I get to grow mine back. But truthfully, is what are you doing to stand out in a positive way? Like, we all have an aura. You can tell when someone's having a good day, right? You can tell when someone, the it factor. We all have it, but many of you have pushed it down so far it just doesn't come out. Many of you have put it away because it wasn't appropriate, or you're told not to, right? You mentioned your parents, love them to death, don't know them, but they said they capped you. There's still a piece of you that still needs to break out. And maybe that's the difference of the Rick here today versus the Rick that's going to be a social media superstar in the future.
Or even the Rick of yesterday, right?
Yeah.
New season.
Don't be afraid.
But man, awesome stuff. And just want to, everybody listening, I'm going to make you a collaborator when I post this, because I want people to see your Instagram page. But I can't speak high enough of follow Gavin, get ideas for your content for Gavin. I want to say I may even have copied one of your videos once, just because I love the message. Good. And I was like, I love this message. I'm going to copy it, but I'm just going to add a little bit of my perspective on it. So I think I wore a different color shirt.
That's beautiful.
It was incredible.
That means a lot to me, because it means you're listening, and I impacted your life. I gave value to you to go make a difference in someone else's. That's the whole domino effect, right?
Yeah,
that's it. Like, you ever open the door for somebody? You open the door for a stranger, right? I
got a funny story about that. Yeah.
Just do that 3 or 4 times a day, right? I tell if anyone's struggling in their business, salesperson, right? Go give your business card to a complete stranger and just say, listen, I don't know why I'm giving you my card. Something tells me that one day you might need me. And when you do, I want to be the lender that you know, like, and trust. Here's my card. If you ever want to grab coffee, just let me know. There's nothing wrong with that. If you just did that 10 times a day, do you think something good might happen? Right? A, you'll get more followers. B, is you just and you say it in a nice way. It's almost like, here's the thing. Everybody wants to be seen, but yet we go through life like this with our eyes closed, and we're afraid to talk to anybody. I love making eye contact with people, right? And just saying hi. It's crazy.
It's interesting. I've started on Instagram. One of the things I noticed was I wasn't getting much engagement. So my goal was out-engage everybody else. So I was just going on and just commenting on people's reels. And what really moved the needle, but I actually loved, was commenting on people's stories. Because like you said, people want to be seen, but they also want to be appreciated. And you never know what someone else is going through in that moment or in that day. So I just focus on being kind and like a cheerleader for them. Awesome job. Beautiful kids. I'm constantly positive in the stories. And I've noticed that by doing that, I get more engagement. Yes. So now, that's part of my mission, but I don't do it for the engagements. I started doing it because I get messages like, Rick, thank you so much. I needed that today.
Yeah.
And a message like that, man.
It's an exchange of energy back and forth, right?
But to be able to positively impact someone's day where they felt like they had to thank you, there's no better feeling in the world than that.
No.
And now that's why I do it. I do it not because I want to get more engagements. I do it because I want to make an impact. I want people to think of me as a positive guy. So somebody commented on my post today, Rick, love this. You are such an inspiration. You're one of the top inspirers on Instagram. I'm like, me?
It's awesome.
Not at all.
You're like, I'm just this dude that just gives a shit about other people. We need more people.
And it's copying other people.
That's it. It's it. But listen, it's taking that necessary step into being great, right?
Absolutely.
More people.
I know we're coming up on our time, and I want to be super respectful of your time. So wrapping up, definitely want to mention one more time, you're hosting an event September 19th and 20th. And like my opinion, I've seen both you and JJ speak. Like y'all two alone is worth the price of the ticket. Like y'all, like you can learn so much from the two of y'all. JJ is remarkable human. Like he is incredible, as are you. So man, I'm going to see what I can do to rearrange my calendar to go, because I had a conflict that weekend. I'm going to see what I can do. For some reason, I thought I was in Denver. Now it's in Austin. That changes everything. It's not as far as a flight.
Yeah, Austin's kind of a fun little city too. Come have some fun with us.
Dude, some of the best barbecue in the planet's in Austin.
There's a lot of things the music's great. Like there's going to be a lot. And listen, we're gonna have a lot of fun. And coaching works for 3 reasons, right? Accountability. We can agree to that. Competition. We all like to compete. But the third is the most overlooked, but yet the most important. It's the camaraderie. It's a brother and sisterhood like nothing else. It's when you're falling down as you've got a group of people to pick you up. When you're at the top, it's a group of people that boost you up even higher. And then when you're somewhere in between, it's to keep continuing to pull you up the ladder. That's it. We were built for more. And so why not go do it?
Dude, yes. Please, everybody watching this, head to this conference, connect. Oh, man, I want to go so bad now.
All right, buddy. Any last questions?
That's all I have. Anything you want to leave? But before you hang out, let me just end the recording here.